Dearest Russell Brand. I'm here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I was up till 4 a.m. watching your Messiah complex. Thank you very much. Putting on a hat because it's snowy outside and it's even cold in here. Getting the heat going on. But thank you for the program, and it really brought a question back philosophically for me, something I've been thinking about for quite a while. And it is the question of balance and harmony. You talk about how in Russia, for example, communism failed because they didn't follow the rule book properly. But I think if you look at all of the places all around the world where certain systems have succeeded or failed, any philosophy or ism could be held to that same standard. You could say that capitalism in America has failed because it's so convoluted and colluded with of corporatism, fascism, that kind of thing. So I think I know my question is a broader one that involves looking at all the different philosophies that there are. I mean, taking the Christian value of love one another and care about one another, which Ayn Rand rejects. But then you take what Ayn Rand espouses, the idea of caring about yourself, caring about who you are, that every person can be heroic, every person, every individual can be amazing. Take a piece of that, take a bit of her philosophy. Take Karl Marx, who said that there should be equality, economic equality amongst the workers, amongst the people. Take these different philosophies, and instead of saying, I'm for Ayn Rand libertarianism and I reject communism, or instead of saying, I take Marxism and socialism and reject laissez-faire capitalism, instead of taking one position and fighting off the ideas and the philosophy of the other, to me the answer is taking the valid points of each of those philosophies and bringing those together. It's not the same as when Joseph Campbell said, take what all the religions of the world have in common, and then you reject and cut out everything that's unique. I'm rather saying, take the aspect of Christian philosophy about loving one another, caring about your community, and couple that with Ayn Rand's care about yourself. Have self-value, have self-worth. Fight for yourself. Fight for who you are. Fight for what you believe in. And you take some of Karl Marx and say, distribute equally amongst the people. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the philosophy that says that the highest paid worker does not exceed making 10 times more what the lowest paid employee of a company or a corporation makes. Personally, I think that is the ideal situation. Not to say that should be law. I think part of the problem is everyone wants to implement their philosophy via law. There's another principle, the non-aggression principle. And so if you take all of these ideas and philosophies and you balance them with each other instead of rejecting the other, to me that is the answer that we've been looking for. And I've thought on it for a very long time, many years. And your program last night really had helped it to be clear in my head, to take all of the different philosophies, the nonviolent philosophy of Gandhi. You can't espouse the nonviolent philosophy of Gandhi and then only accept Karl Marx's approach to eliminating the rich violently, because that doesn't work. Violence isn't the answer. So this is my philosophical question. This is my query. taking the ideal of the self and caring about yourself, because that's the other thing. I imagine that these billionaires, though they may not fess up to it, have sitting on billions of dollars in a bank account somewhere, it might in some ways make them selfishly happy, but they don't see that all the people of society would benefit. They're like buds, they're like flower buds. And to distribute that money in a way that it doesn't just sit in a bank account and get inherited and passed down to your children generation after generation. If you instead take that money and invest it in humanity, pour it into the society, you will be amazed what kind of art, what kind of manufacture, what kind of inventing has been just waiting for that investment. And not just by people building a better mousetrap or competing with you directly, but by them simply having an opportunity where otherwise there wouldn't have been. And that's my question.